guys, welcome to the third video in the series about meal prepping. So as a reminder, video 1 was around getting the tools that you need. Video 2 was around making it cost efficient and effective to meal prep. Now video number 3, we're going to tie it all in together. That way you can see how easy it is to meal prep several meals all within a couple of hours. So before we get started, I would encourage you to go back and watch it for the first couple of videos. That way you get a good idea, understanding of where we are when we start this video today. And as a reminder, the reason why we're doing this meal prep series is to equip you just to be more self-controlled as you go into work, whether it be snacks, breakfast, lunches, so you can make good healthy choices along the way. So the first thing that we're going to do is start lunches. So whatever meal prep that you're doing, what you want to do is the thing that takes the longest. So if you're going to put something in the oven, something in the Instant Pot, something on a grill, things that take a lot of time, you want to start with those. That way you get those prepared, they're actually cooking, and while they are cooking, you are prepping other things. So in this video, I'll do a demonstration. We're going to make lunches. So we're a family of 6, 5 of us are eating. So we're going to make 4 to 5 lunches using the Instant Pot and all these ingredients. And then while these are cooking, I'm going to make snacks, green shake, as we call it. And then we'll move to breakfast cookies, or what is batching overnight oats. Okay, so starting with lunches, just from a cost perspective, the lunches that I'm going to make in the Instant Pot, the total ingredients cost $15 total. That $15 is going to be split across 5 people for 4 days. So think about 4 days worth of lunches for a family of 5 for $15. That's very cheap. The beauty with the Instant Pot is that you can just put all these ingredients in together and set it and forget it. It'll be ready in an hour. So we're going to be doing quinoa, rice, lentils, a protein, tofu. We're using potatoes, beans, and veggies. We're going to put all those in the Instant Pot, add either broth or water, spice it up, use garlic, cumin, curry, whatever you like to flavor things with, and then set it. Right, so we have everything in, we've added our water, we've mixed it. Now we're just going to start it. Okay. And so now this is going to cook for about an hour or so. So now we have an hour that we can move on to something else. And just as a pro tip, so I know exactly what the calories, what the macros, how much protein is in every serving. Just make sure you do that before you fill up an Instant Pot. Now, have a plan. If you're going to make bowls that are about 12 ounces to 16 ounces, understand that you want your 30, 40, 50 grams of protein per bowl. I've done this here. We make 8 servings out of this, and each serving has roughly about 400 calories, but it also has about 45 grams of protein. Okay, so while our lunches are prepping in the Instant Pot, we're going to move on to a green shake. So green shakes, exactly what it sounds like. We feed them to our kids. They love them. They're full of greens, but they're also masked with fruit. So we're going to get our trusty Vitamix here, our mason jars to store them in, and we use spinach, bananas, cucumbers, celery, your type of frozen fruit that you like, and then we do a little cilantro. So it's really hydrating, as well as it has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So this one batch will actually make 6. So your 6 mason jars, if you fill them up, you can keep them in the fridge, you can put them in the freezer and thaw them overnight. But it's a great way to have a shake each day that's full of greens, full of fruit, without having to really think about it. And really, if you go to any type of juice or smoothie shop, you're going to be paying $8 to $10 for a 16-ounce smoothie. Well, you can make them for roughly $1, $1.50 a piece if you follow the batch buying at Costco for your fresh and frozen fruits and vegetables. And here's a pro tip. With 5 hungry people in our family, just making 6 at a time is kind of tough to sustain. So we actually, when we buy in bulk, it makes it a lot cheaper. And then, we have the extra fresh and frozen fruit that we need to use. We'll actually make 4 batches. So the Vitamix can make 4 at a time. Times 6 is going to give us 24 greens shakes at a time. If you have the ability to have the mason jars to store them in, if you have the freezer room, I encourage you to batch make. And if you're making them for yourself, you only have to make them possibly once a month. And if you're making them for a family, you only have to make them once every week or two. Okay, so once you put a little bit of water in, you put all your ingredients in, just blend and then pour into your mason jars. Okay, so we have our first batch. I'm gonna fill up 6 small jars here. And the beauty of the Vitamix and why I recommend it is just because of the consistency that it gives on all of our shakes. So we not only use these for our green shakes, we use these for what we call breakfast shakes, which will go along with some breakfast cookies that I'll show you a little bit later. But the consistency, it's very fine. It's not chunky, and we've had this Vitamix for about 10 years now, and we use it a dozen times a week, and it's going strong. Okay, so after you get them all poured in here, just like I said, put them in the fridge or the freezer and enjoy. Another aspect of batching the green shakes like this is that with making 6, so one Vitamix, it roughly takes about 10 to 15 minutes. But in order to make 4, so you quadruple, it actually only takes about 10 to 15 more minutes. So, another pro tip is if you do have the capacity, please do, because it will save you a lot of time. All right, we have about 10 minutes left on our lunches before they are ready to come out. We have our green shakes made for the next several days, if not weeks. And the last thing that we're going to focus on is overnight oats. And you guessed it, we are going to batch make those. So, just like with everything else, we're going to buy in bulk and then we're actually going to make in bulk. We're going to make these for 5 days. We typically will do that, and they should keep in the fridge okay for 5 days. Okay, with our breakfast cookies or our overnight oats, we use a lot of ingredients that have a lot of fiber. We add a little protein to it. If you were to go get an overnight oats with a scoop of protein out, you're probably going to pay $5, $6, if not more. We make each of these cookies for less than $1, and we're using bulk milk, almond milk, and then we are using oats. We have flax, chia, maca, protein, hemp hearts, raisins, and then we do a little bit of flavoring with cinnamon, and then we put cacao nibs in them as well. All right, and once you have your consistency where you want it, everything is blended up. Then we have a weight scale, and we actually weigh these out, put them in a parchment paper, and actually store them in glass containers. And in the glass containers in the fridge, these should last 4 or 5 days. And once again, for breakfast with the oats, you're going to get a lot of fiber. The flax and chia, that's also good fiber. You're actually going to get a good amount of protein in there too. You add protein to the mix to make it more proteinaceous, or you pair it with, say, some yogurt, or we make a peanut butter shake for our kids. It's got a little extra protein and good fats in there in the morning. You can have a nice breakfast that's 30 to 40 grams of protein, no problem. So now that our breakfast cookies are done, our lunches are finished in the Instant Pot. So we release the steam. Okay, so now that the Instant Pot is finished, you can weigh out your food, store them in glass containers, and pull them out and take them to work when you need them. So another thing with making the grain bowls at home is that you can control the ingredients that you're inputting. You also can make sure that you're getting 30 to 50 grams of good protein. If you go out to any restaurant, you're probably going to be paying $12 to $15 per bowl. If you make these at home, you can be cost effective and make them for less than $2 a bowl. So as a recap, in order to be most efficient in meal prepping, you always want to start with the meals that take you the longest first. So if you're going to be putting something in the oven or making something in the Instant Pot, go ahead and get that started while you work on the others. So for example, we made the lentil quinoa bowls, and while they were in the Instant Pot, we finished up a week's worth of green shakes as well as a week's worth of overnight oats. Also with this, you're controlling all the ingredients, right? So you know that what you're putting in here is healthy. You can track your macros, your nutrients, your calories more, and you can do it at a fraction of the cost. This probably costs 20% of what it would be if you were to go out and actually have snacks, have lunches and breakfast outside of the house. So for all of these, just pair them with fruits, pair them with nuts and seeds, and just make sure to get plenty of water for the amount of protein that's in them. All right, guys, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and I hope this helps you be efficient and effective as well as cost effective with your meal prepping. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. And as always, our mission and vision at Midlife Fitness is to transform your personal weight loss journeys into permanent success stories where you feel confident, energized, and in control.